Hey everyone, thank you for hanging in there. Hubby was using my computer and it was important stuff he was using it for. So I thought I'd go on a little bit late. Always put those needs a little bit first, so that, but then I let you guys know I'm going to be a bit late. So yeah. Okay, yes. Lots to look at. Some of it here in Australia. Our AG, there has been a historical rape allegation against him. I'm not going to look at that, but I am going to have a look at his future. This is our Attorney General, Christian Porter. He denied that anything happened. He was a teenager at the time. Unfortunately, the woman who filed the report with the police last year, she then committed suicide. So I'm not going to look at the case itself, but I am going to look at the future of our Attorney General, Christian Porter. He's from WA. Not a big fan myself of him, but that doesn't mean I believe everything. The questions to ask, of course. Whether there will be an inquiry, I don't know. And I'll ask if there will be an inquiry. The police aren't going to do one because the woman is dead. But will there be a parliamentary one? I'll have a look at that as well. Then our Defence Minister, Linda Reynolds, she's on 2 weeks of medical leave. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was allegations of rape in 2019 against a staffer in the minister's office, and it was against one of her staffers, and in 2019, sorry. And she apparently referred to the woman making the accusation as a lying cow, then came out and said she wasn't saying she disbelieved the story, just some of the facts that were said around it. But calling that woman a lying cow means a different thing. So I'm going to have a look at her future. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Uncover the News. Haven't said the names. Hi, Apple. Hi, Wildheart. Helena Harrison. I saw your name up there with Uncover too. Hello. Joe G. Hi. Yeah, he wants the whole COVID bill read into the record, or 600 pages to delay. It's Ron Johnson trying to, why is he trying to force the delay? To delay the bill. It's bloody ridiculous. They've had, every one of them should have read it themselves. Will he be able to? Yes, I'm going to have a look at 4th of March for you guys, which is overnight my time. Hi, Linda B. Hi, Catherine Stubbs. Hi, Dave. Judy Malley. Wildheart. Teresa Balthazar. Hello. Melinda Dutcher. Judith Gash. Hello. Beatrice Harrison. Hello. Hi, Sharon Sype. And has anyone heard from Ushi? I don't know if any of you know Ushi. That's how she puts the thing, Ushi, O-O-S-H-I. I've been trying to get hold of her. I'm a bit concerned. Has anyone heard from her recently? Just asking that. I haven't been able to get hold of her, that's all. So I hope she's okay. So everyone send out good wishes and good energy to Ushi, please. Hi, Sheila from Inquisitive Tarot. How are you? Lisa Wilkinson, hello. Yeah, so we're going to start off down here in Australia. So You found, oh, Melinda, you found the checks yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad you found those missing checks, Melinda. That's fantastic. Yes, the Fred on March 4th. I'm going to have a look at that. March 20th, is that when the State of the Union is going to be on? March 20th. Is that the State of the Union? It's the other fret day by Q. March 20th, Q. Yeah. I don't know if I'll look at the March 20th one yet. Maybe a little bit closer to the day. Anyone know when the State of the Union is on this? Yeah. I'd love to hear him get up and say, well, the union has been in the crapper for the last 4 years. We've just started the recovery process and we're doing pretty good so far. An address to Congress. Why no so State of the Union invitation yet? Nancy Pelosi is the person to do that. It's not a requirement. Okay. So it's not an actual requirement to do it. Okay. They're not announcing the date for security's sake. Will it happen then? Okay. Will it happen? Yeah, it'll be a surprise. Yep. He'll be there and it'll be broadcast on the day, I guess. Okay, let's get into it. Hi, Melinda Dutra. Yeah, I've said hello, haven't I? Okay, gonna look at our Attorney General. Any allegations might be made against you is a serious thing. I'm not a fan of the man. Never will be. But that doesn't mean I'm willing to jump up and down. Yeah. My husband asked me yesterday before he came out, I said, who do you think these allegations are about? And I said, Christian Porter. But I was, I thought on it and I said, Christian Porter. But I was a little bit worried that my insight was coloured by personal prejudice. So, but I was really surprised when he picked me up yesterday after meeting a girlfriend for coffee. He said, you were right, it's Christian Porter. So, yeah, I'm not going to put that one down 100% to intuition. Okay. So let's have a look. What is in store for the Australian Attorney General? Okay, firstly, will there be an inquiry into this allegation? The fact is, he's been caught out before, getting on and smooching with women in bars in Canberra while his wife and kids and everything have been in Western Australia. So, but that doesn't mean that he would, Hi, Alexis Curie. Yeah. But, yeah, I heard something about that, but then they walked away from it, didn't they? And it got out of hand. When is Merrick Garland going to be sworn in? I don't know why he hasn't been sworn in. Merrick Garland. I got this week, but went through my mind, but I'll still read cards on that. Okay. I'm pretty sure that I heard somewhere that the duo who did start it as a joke walked away from it. Yes, they realised they could make money from it, but when it got into the ridiculous stuff, they walked away from it. So, but I don't know. That was a rumour I'd heard, but yeah. Okay. Hi, Grandma. Let's get into it. Our Australian Attorney General, Christian Porter. Firstly, will there be an inquiry? Yeah. Oh, now you see it, now you don't. That's not judgment. High impact. This is going to have, inquiry or not, this is going to have a high impact on him. He's taking 2 weeks off for his mental health. You know, like I said, I'm not going to read on whether he did it or not. I'm going to read on the aftermath and stuff of the glad that some states are opening it in time for everyone to make good choices on St. Patrick's Day. Oh, there's lots and lots of communication happening at the moment. He does feels like he's been standing in judgment. Anxiety. Anxious time. Now, this is about the inquiry, if there's going to be an inquiry. So far, there's a yes. Lots of back and forth about it, judgment. But then we have a no with the 9, anxiety. This is a maybe card. This is a possibly gaslighting, try to bury it. Family. Oh, what about his family? How much damage would he do to his family? It could be, as far as his wife's concerned, even though I'm not going to really go into his relationship there, it could be a straw that broke the camel's back with his family. You know, like I said, he's been caught out before in being not the most faithful of husbands. But whether it's true or not, it could be just one more thing. Loss, regret, that's a no. Loss and regret. Ace of Cups is a yes. Queen of Cups is a yes. Keeping a lid on things, smoothing things down. What I think is going to happen here is that they're going to do some preliminary research to decide whether there are grounds for a full-blown inquiry. And so I think they're going to do semi-inquiry issue. And it's going to be relatively short, and it's going to be pretty quick, and they're going to make a judgment on whether or not this requires a full-blown inquiry. I think they're going to protect their own, be a bit cloudy about it, about what they found out. And I don't think it's going to go into a full-blown parliamentary inquiry. I think they'll do the preliminaries for one. Yeah. So that is what I think is going to happen. That they'll have a look on the surface and make a judgment over the next, while he's away. They'll look at it while he's away, and they'll make a judgment on whether a full-blown inquiry will be needed, and then they'll say no. And basically, yeah, it'll fade away despite calls for more. Okay. Now, this incident happened, allegedly happened in 1988 when the Attorney General was 17 and the woman was 16. He remembers that much, but he doesn't remember what happened, which is strange to me. But it'll be a now you see it, now you don't inquiry. Now, as to his future, Christian Porter's future, whether he'll step down as AG or... Hi, Clarence. I don't know if Moon's here. Hi, Catherine Stubbs. Debbie Fitzsimmons, hello. Hi, Greta. Hi, Teresa. Yeah. Yeah, 6 Dr. Zeus books are going to be removed from print due to what is now considered racist overtone. He wrote a lot, you know. Yeah, GOP's being a bit of a shit. They're going to have to go the nuclear option there. Yes, I saw Dolly Parton singing. Okay. So, what is our attorney? We're talking about Christian Porter, who is the Australian Attorney General, if you've just joined. I just read on if there's going to be a parliamentary inquiry into an historical rape allegation that was made against him. The woman who made it did file a report with the police in New South Wales. It was the alleged incident happened over here when he was a teenager and she was a teenager. He says he remembers their ages but not what happened. But I'm not going to read on the allegation itself because unfortunately the woman who made it committed suicide. I've just read on whether there's going to be an inquiry, and it came up with they're going to do an inquiry as to whether they should hold a full-blown inquiry probably in the next 2 weeks while he's on leave. Now I'm going to read on Attorney General Porter's future. Clarence, I'm going to read on Garland. Okay. Oh, heartbreak. Heartbreak, betrayal. He's going to feel, he's feeling a sense of betrayal. As I explained earlier, he's not exactly been a squeaky clean person in the areas of relations with women. He's been caught out on camera chatting up and snogging women in bars while his family, his wife and children are over in Western Australia. So this is, regardless of what happens with him in the future, this is going to be a bit of heartbreak involved for him. I'm going to do, yeah. Okay. Oh, what's on the bottom? Queen, resources, campaign funds. Let's do with that. What's his challenge? His challenge is finding the strength to see his way through this. It's not the first scandal, as I've said. But he's not the most popular of people. Get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. Your sister's choice is her choice, but she has no right to tell you what to do with that choice. So, hi, Laura Carson. Clarence, I'm reading on our, down here in Australia, our Attorney General, who's got this huge scandal. I'm sure the I like beer jokes are going to be coming out soon. The allegation, it was a historical rape allegation against him, came out, was filed against him last year with the police. From when he was a teenager, 17 years old. He remembers the ages he was and she was, but he doesn't remember what happened. But I'm not reading on the allegation. I just did a reading on whether there'll be a parliamentary inquiry. I'm just reading on Attorney General Porter's future at the moment. At the base, oh, sunshine. Yeah, sunshine. So he's feeling betrayed at the moment and heartbroken. His struggle is to find strength to get through what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Now, at the base, it says sunshine. This could be a good card. Everything will work out fine for him. This is in the foundations position, one of the strongest cards. But we haven't finished the reading yet. It could also be more things coming to light. We'll know more as the reading progresses. Past actions leading up to the 9 of Cups. He's passed, basically. Everything he's wanted to happen has come true. He's been lucky. He's got money, he's got resources. Everything he wanted has happened in his past. Is that going to continue? The Chariot, momentum down. He's got some really high impact card here. Momentum. There have been calls for him to resign. Will those calls increase? So I'm going to do clarification on the Chariot card and the Sun card at the end of the reading, get a bit more of a picture. What's in his immediate future? He is facing judgment regardless. This is the Judgment card. He's facing judgment. He stood up, he gave his press conference, he was on the verge of tears the whole way through, but he's facing judgment in his immediate future. And he's going to be called on by to answer some questions. Even when he gets back from his mental health leave, which he's taking, or before he goes. He only gave the press conference yesterday. In his environment is an offer. Okay, an offer. That's interesting. What do people see? Home life. People see someone who, this will affect his home life. It's not going away on top of the scandals of him snogging birds in bars in Canberra. I'm going to do a read on Joe Manchin too. He seems to be causing all sorts of trouble, doesn't he? One of his hopes and fears. His hopes is that he can sail through this into calmer waters. This is what he's hoping. He fears that he's going to be seen as an abuser. Painted as an abuser. An abuser of his position, just an abuser. That's interesting. Kinds of the highest truth and communication. Help me gain further insight into the question. The outcomes for him, lots and lots of communications. Judgment. There's going to be judgment against him, but it's not going to be public. I think it's going to be internal in the party. It's going to be a high impact on him. Ace of Wands. New energy, new investigation. And I think so. His outcomes are 8 of Wands, swift communication, judgment card, high impact judgment. That means from within the party, within party leaders. Ace of Wands, possibly investigations. Well, it's gone, but also this. So the end for him, a change, an irrevocable change for him. I'm going to do a couple of clarifiers on the Sun card that was at the foundation and the Chariot card. This is Sun card about exposure. Hi, Flora. How are you? Flora, you're in Perth. You'll know the person I'm reading on. Our esteemed Attorney General, Christian Porter, and his these allegations that were made against him. I'm doing a reading on him. So far, it's, well, I've read on whether there'll be a parliamentary inquiry and sort of a bit of an internal one, but not to decide whether there should be a full-blown one. They probably won't instigate a full-blown inquiry, but I could have been wrong there. Now I'm reading on his future. And Flora lives in the southern suburbs of Perth, about 60, 70 odd kilometres from where I am. So, but now on the foundation of the cross, I've got sunshine, which could be good, but could be bad. Also, his challenge is strength, and above everything was the challenge, chariot momentum. Can mean victory, that he'll win out over this, but his outcome cards don't exactly say that. Hi, Anne Rudd. Let's have a look. What is going on? Why does he need strength? 8 of Cups. There's pressure on him to walk away. And the world is watching. The world is watching. People, tend to think Australia is forgotten in world politics. We're not, because we are the major geopolitical power in the Southern Hemisphere. So they can't afford to forget about us and not look at changes within the government or things happening within the government. Hi, J Cat Lady. The Sun. What is this about? Is this about good times for him or exposure? Knight of Pentacles. Legal. Jeopardy. Ooh, Kings of Swords. Ooh, I think this could be further exposure, further things coming to light, investigations and the need for lawyers. This might bring about other allegations. Will there be more allegations against him? Or he's going to be embattled. He's going to be embattled. Okay, the Chariot, the momentum. Is this about getting him to resign? What is this about? Four of Wands. A Tower. Wow. There's stuff going to, it could even be about his home life. It could even be about his family life. Queen of Cups. Four of Wands, the Tower and Queen of Cups on top of that Chariot. Wow, I think he's going to, he's really fierce. He's going to come out and he's going to be seen as an abuser. I wonder if something's going to come out about his family life or there's more allegations. It will be interesting to see what happens with our Attorney General, but things aren't looking too good for him. There were a couple of interesting things he said in his press conference. Like, I was 17 years old, she was 16 years old, we were teenagers, but I don't remember what happened. That's like, yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with him. See, not just American politicians who have murky stuff. Speaking of murky stuff, what is going to happen with our Defence Minister, Linda Reynolds, who I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that a staffer in a minister's office had been accused of raping one woman, and then another woman had come out and said she'd also been assaulted by this person and stuff. But we're talking about the original lady who made the allegations, Brittany, I can't remember her last name, but anyway. The Defence Minister was heard at the time calling this woman a lying cow. And that's just come out. She's on medical leave. She's due back soon. Hi, Dave. Yeah, it can be a bit rough, can't it? It takes time. It takes a couple of generations for real deep-rooted change to happen, or real deep-rooted corruption to happen. It doesn't happen overnight, either the change for the good or the change for the bad. It's something that happens over a couple of generations. The Democratic Party you want will be there, but it's still 20 or 30 years away probably. Oh, Chow. Yeah, I read about the IG's report on Chow. Okay, let's see. Is Defence Minister Linda Reynolds, our Defence Minister here in Australia, going to face consequences for calling this young woman who made the allegations, hi Kate Sweet Blue, a lying cow. Oh, she's lying for a good time. High impact, bad juju on the way to her. Wow. Tipping point. She's hoping it'll just disappear, but no, this is the allegation was for 2019. Judgment. It is going to end up before a judge. Judgment. She is going to be judged for these things. Momentum. She's got the momentum card too. And I know there have been calls for her to resign. High impact cards, again, for her. The star. Her aim has been to be a shining light in the Liberal Party. And this has upset her objectives. And she's not taking it out on the person who allegedly did these things to more than one woman. She's taking it out on bashing the victim. Plan, strategy. She's got a strategy to deal with it. King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. She wants to put a lid on things. She wants to smother it. Office she doesn't want. I think she might end up having to resign as the minister and go back to the backbench or wherever ministers go when they resign. Porter, it looks like it could be complete resignation from office and from the party, you know, opening up his seat. Linda Reynolds, she's possibly going to be forced out of her position as the defence minister and back to the backbench, an office she doesn't want. She's going to be judged for how all this has come across, and there's going to be questions asked of her staff by leaders in the Liberal Party, as there should be. You know, it shouldn't have to be a whole parliamentary inquiry into things like this. The leaders in these parties should hold their people accountable. Christian Porter's thing is one thing. This is, you know, there's not going to be a legal case or anything for Christian Porter. Might destroy his whole world and implode his whole world, but it's not going to be ending up in court. This case is on its way to ending up in court, and a minister of the Crown has caught the person making the allegation a lying cow, and that can affect the outcome of the case. And that just will not do. So I think she's going to end up having to resign as Defence Minister. She has meetings next week when she gets back from her medical leave. So that's Australia. That's some of the scandals in Australia. Now, the SpaceX launch. Anyone keeping an eye on the SpaceX launch? I know that they had to delay it. Bought it earlier. I saw that. Isn't that the ugliest vessel you've seen ever? Night Uncover the News. Thank you, Kirsten, for joining us. And as always, giving us some things to look at. So, yeah. It exploded. It exploded, did it? Yeah, they were waiting on Australian telly to watch it, and it exploded. I mean, this SpaceX thing, it looks vaguely like Mr. Squiggle's rocket, which is an Australian reference. I don't know if you'd ever seen it, but the shape sort of reminded me, not entirely because it wasn't round, but the shape with the point on the end, if you looked at it straight on, it would look like it just needed a pole or something sticking out the top, and it would look like Mr. Squiggle's rocket. Mr. Squiggle was a puppet character in children's television for years and years and years, and he would come down to Earth in his rocket, and he had a pencil for a nose, and he used the pencil to draw. And his nose would stick out of a hole in the rocket, and the rocket itself, there'd be something sticking out the top. The USS Ugly. It was ugly. Okay. Oh, let's see. Got this lovely list to go on with. Now, covered the Australian stuff. Gives you a bit of an insight on what's going on south of the equator. Marjorie Taylor Greene is pissing off an increasing number of Republicans by repeatedly calling the House to vote on adjournment. The first time she did it, all the Republicans voted with her. The second time, 2 voted against her. She's done it again, and now 18 Republicans are voting against it. She's increasingly irritating the Republicans in the House. She's trying to delay the bill introduced by the Democrats on electoral and police reform. Thanks, Joe G. Hi, Geek. How you going? 5171 signing. How are you? And hello to everyone else who's watching, who may be watching and not commenting. Hi, thank you for joining me. Love that you do. And hello to everyone who will be watching later on. Yeah. If you're interested in how geopolitical powers break down their global, hemispherical, regional, and local. US and China are the only 2 global geopolitical powers. They are also hemispherical. But there's only one hemispherical geopolitical power in the Southern Hemisphere, and that is Australia. None of the South American countries fall into that. Then there are regional, and then there are regional geopolitical powers. Russia is only a regional geopolitical power. I can't remember the name of a few others. I think maybe the UAE might be one. There's several in Africa. There's a couple in Africa, regional ones. And of course, there's some in Europe. But, you know, Russia's only regional. And then there's all the local. So, you know. Okay. Well, what pass on? Wild Heart. They can get rid of Cuomo if they want, but if he resigns from the pressure, it'll still be a Democratic governor because the lieutenant governor will take over. That's not going to pardon Trump. Now, I see where you're thinking. Eventually, they might get in a Republican government, and he might pardon Trump. Look, by that time, Trump will be gone. And even if he wanted a pardon, they wouldn't do it because his name will be just too much stench attached to him. So, yeah. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are the Republicans going to call her to heel? New journey. Because she's been doing this, she's set out on a new journey. High impact. She's been a fool. She's facing judgment from her own party. They're starting to get really, really pissed off with her. Strength. Victory. Legacy. Tipping point. She's not going to stop yet, but she's getting to a tipping point, and they're going to be looking at corporation, where she got some of her funding from, her victory, her win, strength, tipping point. Yeah, they're definitely going to look at her campaign funding. This is the party itself. Manipulation. Tipping point, manipulation, two of swords, tipping point, two of coins, manipulation. There are some Republicans gathering things about her. And the more she pisses off, the more support there's going to be within the Republican Party. They voted with her the first time to state their opposition to this bill. And they felt that's all they needed to do. And then 2 crossed over, and now 18 have. There's no need to keep doing it. They've got their point across. She wants to delay the bill. Wasted resources. This is not her gaining strength. I feel this should be reversed because there's no reversals in this thing. I feel like she's self-sabotaging herself. She's sabotaging herself. And cracks are showing. She's not finished stopping yet. Oh. She's going to continue to try to get away from things, but she's not going to be able to outrun the consequences of what she's going to be doing. And she's still going to say Trump won, Trump won. But there's also standards, there's stability within the party. So she's going to still say Trump won, Trump won. But there's standards and stability, and the stability of the party is becoming more and more of a concern to a lot of, it's like a lot of them are coming out of a bit of a deep haze, a fog that they've been following in blindly because they weren't sure where they needed to go or what they needed to do. And the stability of the party is going to overcome, the need for stability within the party is going to overcome their willingness to put up with her crap. She does have an end coming. I think they're going to primary her. They're going to primary her or throw her out of the party in the end. Yeah, they all went along at first with her first thing to state their objections. And some of them stated their objections again, but 2 didn't. Said, look, I don't think there's a need to do that again. And now it's like, I don't know how many times she can do that, but yeah. Look, the GOP can't blame everything that's gone wrong with that party over the last 40 years on these two women. They're a symptom of what has gone wrong with that party. Even 5 years ago or 10 years ago, they would never have gotten a nomination with this party, you know. Jim Jordan, $3 million in unreported campaign funds. Will there be an FEC investigation? Woohoo, let's have a look at that. Will there be an FEC investigation? Hi, Bonnie Russell. But yeah, I don't think they're going to last beyond their first terms. I think they're both going to be. Bobbert, I think, is in legal jeopardy. But I'll read on that another time. Okay, let's see. God to the highest truth and compassion. Thank you for your help. Thank you. Will there be FEC investigation into these unreported errors in campaign funds? Will there be? Ooh, Queen of Swords, Judgment. Oh, thank you, Laura. Hi, Book Bewitched. Thank you for that support. Thank you so much. And the compliment. Thank you. Hi, Sheila. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Six of Pentacles. Ooh, Six of Pentacles came up. Deals and quid pro quos. Where did some of this money come from? Knight of Wands, that's investigated. They're not rushing into it. I think they're waiting for more information. Page of Cups. Emotional news, but also he is really emotionally immature. He is definitely in for an anxious time. Something's going to come out. Quid pro quos, deals, sharing of information that perhaps he shouldn't have. 10 of Cups, investigation, Republican Party. He's not the only one. There are investigations. It's not will there be an FEC investigation. Thank you, Melinda. It's what's going to be the result of the one that's going on now, not just with him, but with others within the party. Transition into calmer waters. This is movement away. Ooh, abandonment, walking away. He might have to resign. Be forced to walk away. Queen of Cups. I don't often see the Queen of Cups as Russia, but this is the Queen of Cups. The lid is off. I think there might be some stuff coming out about his ties to Russia and to some others. because right in the center of this is the Republican Party itself. Not every Republican has done the dirty on the American people. I would say for every one Republican, there are 8 who haven't, you know, or 9 who haven't. I would say, you know, there are more good Republicans than confused maybe, and so caught up in the rhetoric that they've lost their own way, and they've got to realign and go back and revisit why they became Republican, what their core values are, what they want to achieve. And if they do that, if those Republicans in office do that, this is what Kinzinger is trying to do. Get people to come back and think about why they, if they follow Kinzinger's lead and join his effort, the Republican Party will be much better for it. King of Cups. This isn't Biden. We're looking at if there'll be an FEC investigation. That's not Biden, that King of Cups. 6 of Wands, definitely going to be. There's hidden things coming out. Yeah, deals made behind the scene. Here it is. It started with deals and quid pro quo, coming back to deals. Who is this King of Cups? Who is this? Not Biden. Who's that King of Cups? And it's not Jordan. Stuff coming out about Russia. Is that Putin? Is that King of Cups Putin? Hanged man. A tower. It's going to bring to changed perception about some of these people. And it's more than just Jim Jordan. There is an investigation. They're not talking about it. But it is there and it is happening. Biden's not going to win every battle, guys. He's not going to win every battle. But he's going to try and win the biggest ones. Yeah, I think that could be Putin. And stuff's going to come out. It's going to change the perspective on a few things. And it's going to cause a tower, big, high-impact event that is going to affect quite a few Republican people. This started as a reading on Jim Jordan and whether or not there's going to be an FEC investigation. There is one. It's not whether there will be. There already is. It's just not being spoken about. They don't want witch hunt, the witch hunt narrative to come up and divert attention away from the things that need to be happening. Stuff's going to come out, not just against Jim Jordan, but others. And there are some ties to Russia. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry you feel that way. People fight their battles in different ways. Biden is a lot stronger than you think he is. Okay. He has a whole agenda. Now, the talk about the Rose Garden, what's going to happen is Jill Biden going to re-establish the rose garden, restore it. So I want to clear my mind on this because Linda G was talking about it yesterday. I see it sort of being transformed, like that magic transformation thing where the poor girl turned into a princess sort of thing. Yes, they are going to do the rose garden, but it is going to take time. There's a lot of things that need to happen first. Thank you, Anna Macedo. Thank you. That need to happen first. There's a lot of rough water to go through. There are a lot of offers and deals to be made. There's a lot to happen. Seven of Wands. Yes, it will happen. She is firm on that. It will happen. But you see all these here? These are all issues that have to be attended to first. As a First Lady, she's got other things that need to be attended to as well. But she has not forgotten about it. She will not forget about it. There's also financing it. They want to make sure that the money that's used it's spent in the wisest way. They don't make mistakes with spending money on it and all that. Judgment. Yeah, they're doing what they feel in their judgment needs to be done first, but I think it's going to be a low-key in the background. She's going to, every now and then, I feel like when something might pop into her mind about the rose garden, what she'd like to happen, and I think she's probably got a little notebook, or she tells her chief of staff or secretary, or, oh, can you write this down and put it under rose garden notes or something like that. She doesn't dismiss it from her mind, but she knows she has these other things to deal with. But if a thought pops into her head about it, or if someone comes to her with something about it, it gets noted and it will be handled. But at the moment, there are other things that they have to deal with helping American people come out of the cold, come in out of the cold that they've been put into. Yeah, the need to bring balance back to America and harmony back to America is in their judgment, it's something they need to address first. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, deals, sharing, helping. There's some things that are going to come out about Melania in the rose garden. She did an awful job. She ripped it up. And there's also going to be a lot of restrictions on Jill and what she can do. Okay. Which is good. I think they should. Or the restrictions aren't necessarily going to be on her, but when it comes out about everything that Melania did and what happened to some of the things, everything was supposed to go in storage, but I think some things were destroyed, all the plants and everything. But there will be restrictions placed on what future First Ladies can do with the rose garden. Yeah, but it will happen, and it's going to be, like I said, a bit of an ongoing journey. I do think they have a plan for when to address it, and it's going to be the last 6 months is going to be for her That's when she's going to do her rose garden project in the last 6 months of the first term. And be patient, it will be returned. She's probably going to make some changes currently, get rid of some horrible things, maybe plant new borders and all that, just brighten it up a bit, bring more colour into it as it is. So she's making some changes to the garden as it is to just make it much less of an eyesore. But the complete restoration is something that she wants to do, but going to have to wait. And she's constantly, you know, it pops into her mind all the time. And if she gets an idea, she writes it down or gets a secretary to write it down or something. So there's the go on the rose garden, guys. That's what I think. That's what I get from those cards on Jill Biden and the Rose Garden project, which she wants to be able to give the bulk of her time to it when it gets done. So, yeah. But in the meantime, there'll be some different plants put in, maybe a couple of new beds to brighten things, some of the more hideous plants taken away. But it's not going to be a full restoration. But she will make a nicer garden than it is at the moment for the interim. Okay. Everyone stay healthy. Yes, please. Everyone stay healthy. 4th of March. I'll have a look at the 4th of March. The Dreamers Bill. Will the House pass the Dreamers Bill? Guns of the highest truth and compassion. Sign objective. Question of the House pass the Dreamers Bill. So this bill provides a pathway to citizenship for the dreamers, doesn't it? So, and I think those dreamers who are in the military should just be sworn in as citizens there and then, wherever they are, or, you know, they should be gathered, sworn in as citizens by the president, the ones who were kicked out, and reinstated if they wish to be. And whether they wish to go back into the services or not, they should still be sworn in as citizens. Mansion. Yeah, I'll have a read on Mansion. I've got him down to read on. Hi, Bonnie Russell. Hey, baby. My sexiest man. Could you make me a coffee, please, my darling? Normally he makes me a coffee before I start, but I didn't ask him today. And could you make me a coffee, please? Really appreciate it. Hi, Amy Smith. How are you? What happened this afternoon, geek? Did you get flooded or something? The flooding down. Oh, damn, that's awful, Beth. All that snow and stuff and from the storms, it's not surprising that there's snow melt that can cause flooding. And, oh, geez. Just seems to be like one thing after another, doesn't it? It's like a relative of mine recently. Blow 1, blow 2, blow 3, just bang, bang, bang. And, yeah. Oh. Geek Hillbilly, what's wrong? Have you had COVID or something, or just a cough or cold? Or it does hurt when you cough, doesn't it? When you're coughing a lot, it really does. Maybe a honey drink or something might help with your soothe your throat to help with the coughing. But then you've got to cough stuff up too. It's a bit of, you know, 6 of one, half dozen of another. The other, isn't it? Yeah, will the House pass the Dreamers Bill? Oh, news for you, Bubby.
Yes, baby.
My cards on Christian Porter. Not looking too good for the lad.
No.
He's got a big grin on his face.
I have no comment.
He has no comment. No, not going to feel Charlotte Porter. I mean, if it all is nothing, then
Correct.
it's been destroyed. But just too many scandals, you know.
You know he's the senator in our electorate.
I'm not a senator.
What is he? A minister, federal minister?
He's the Attorney General.
Yeah, but he's also...
He's our member.
Yeah.
Our federal member.
Pierce. For Pierce. Yeah,
For Pierce, yeah.
Pierce. Not senator. But...
Well, get rid of him. We didn't last time, we will this time. This we don't wish bad on the man, of course not. You don't do that. And if these allegations turned out to be patently false, well, that would be okay. I mean, we wouldn't be grumbling about it. But the damage that's already been done, unfortunately, but, you know, you might share a bit of a grin that it's not looking too good for somebody, but you don't wish real harm on them. You know, if whatever happens, happens. If it's justified that it happens, that's what you just wish justice on somebody. A little bit of shroud and forward when not exactly walking on the highest path, highest vibrational path. It's human. You just don't want to make a habit of it. Our dealings with the man haven't been the friendliest. His staff has been rude when we've talked to them and stuff about issues, and yeah, so, and we feel that the staff takes their tone from the boss. But still, you know, you don't want to wish horrible things on anyone. The only thing you want to wish on a person, even if they're not the best person in the world, is that what happens in their life is justified. Oh, gee, my poor darling. Stage 1 black lung. Oh, sweetheart. Everybody, please send out positive and generous and loving positive energy to Geek. Just send them out, send it out, and, you know, send out positive. I'm sending you bolts of bright yellow positive light, followed by picturing bright white positive light wending its way to you in Kentucky. You're in southern Kentucky, in that area, wending your way to you. Everyone send him light, positivity, anything you can. We love you, Geek. Nina loves you for helping her. Thank you. Thanks, sweetheart. Oh, you were so sweet.
Yeah, I know. Not really. Love you, baby.
You bought me little piggies again. You bought me little. And I bought him this cup, not this year, but last Valentine's Day. It's a Harry Potter mug, and it's got on it, "You are my chosen one." It's the chosen one. And he's been making me coffee in it lately. Oh, nice and hot. That should see me through. What's the painting thing? Buckety. Oh, I should do some more water painting. I'm going to do something this afternoon. It's something I've been painted off on and off for years. Never very good. I did have a picture in an art show once, but you know, just very amateurish, and learning watercolor painting. So, okay, now back to business after that break. Hi, Chrissy's husband. Judy, you trying to flirt, Judy Malley, with my husband? You can, yeah, I'll let you. Dreamer bill, will it pass the dreamer bill? Will it pass the house? Nine of Pentacles. It's in a good position too. Oh, first up we've got a, that's not good. What's this about? Will the dreamer's bill pass the house? I said no. But then we get the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, legacy. Queen of Wands. Yes, compassion, guidance, protectiveness. This could be a change. This could be the change that happens with this dreamer's bill. Well, no further soon. Eight of Pentacles. The Chariot, momentum. The King of Wands, passionate leadership. Compassionate leadership. Restrictions. Ace of Wands is a yes. Standing ground. Okay. I think, yes, it will pass. There's going to be some effort, I think, to kill it, but it's going to pass. There's going to be some effort to mess with the details and add some restrictions if they can't kill it, and they're not going to be able to kill it. And I can guess as to who's going to try and do that sort of stuff. The next question I'm going to ask, and I'm going to use a different deck here, will it pass with bipartisan support? They don't need the Republicans on side for this to pass it. But will it pass the House with bipartisan support? Assessment, people going, assessing it and people going in a different direction. That's one of the meanings of the Seven of Cups. It's not just a reap what you sow card, it's a card of assessment, and it's a card of deciding a different direction is needed. Anxiety. Legacy. Here's the legacy card again, the Ten of Pentacles. The Empress, the American people. Most Americans want it to pass. Planning. You know, it might get some bipartisan support as well. especially those people who are getting ongoing threats because they voted to impeach Trump, or they voted for this, or they voted for that. They're getting to the point where, stuff it, I'm going to do the right thing. And what can you do? Just threaten me more? Come on, I'm going to do the right thing. So there might, no guarantee of that. There's going to be, I think there are a few who want to support it, but they're anxious against the backlash they've seen other House members get. Hi, Marie Sutton. Hi, Kathy W. And remember, if anyone wants a reading, I am available for reading. So you just have to email me at footprinttarot.com. I'm still working on my website. Always work. Just haven't looked at it in weeks. And, yeah. Remember that, remember the warnings you hear all the time about giving something too much power, by giving it too much thought, by saying, oh, Trump's going to win and do this and all that, or Trump's going to get away with this and all that. You're making it come, you're giving that power to Trump. That when you have negative energies about, when you have negative thoughts and negative comments about anything, you're adding power to those negative comments and adding power to that energy that can then undermine what you want to be strong. If you want something to be stronger, to be firmer, you have to send out the energy supporting that. Don't send out the negative energy that will undermine it. If you want a stronger party, send out the energy. Say it will be a stronger party. It will happen. It's going to take time. And you know, if you send out negative energy, that will undermine the thing you want to strengthen. So just, yeah. And remember, everyone going, oh, Trump, he's going to get away with this or he's going to get away with that. He did get away with a lot while he was in office, but that was because he was in office. And also, possibly, you can't lend that energy. You can't send out that energy. If you want positive things to happen in a situation, you send out positive energy to say this can be overcome, this can be strengthened, these people can be strengthened, and their resolve can be strengthened. Yeah, Dave, yeah, that's true, Dave. I wasn't particularly eyeing you out. And yes, there needs to be cap on corporate donors and things like that. Yeah. Will the FBI act on the fraudulent voting that elected McConnell? Bonnie Russell, interesting question. Let's have a look. No, I wasn't aiming at anything at one specific person, okay? It's just a filling up. I often say the same to James. If you want something to be better, putting out negative energy about it is not going to improve the situation. You have to be positive about it. Wow, this is the devil came up. Will the FBI act on the fraudulent voting that elected McConnell? There's definitely something dodgy about it. Two of Pentacles, manipulation of votes, abusive position. So far we've got no. Three of Cups, support for it. The Star, that's a yes. 10 of Pentacles is a yes. Looking at donors, stars, hopefully. Yeah, I think that halt to these practices. I think the Kentucky state government is going to have to review everything. Justice will be done. Yeah, Don't worry about McConnell. That's all going to come out, and there'll be a change of fortune for him. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high impact cards coming at him, including justice, change of fortune, a halt in momentum, hope for the Kentucky people, and the devil, which is, you know. So, yeah, don't worry about that. Well, that's going to get reviewed, and there will be changes made in Kentucky. Yeah. The thing is, until they can put caps on corporate donorship, until they put caps, and that's up to the parties too. But there can be some things put in for campaign laws and things like that about caps. There's always going to be that element of, you know, people gave us money for a reason. But what you've got to make sure is that with the Democrat presidential hopefuls, 2018, 2019, they had to prove that they had so much community donations and that their donations from corporates were no more than this amount. So I think that they're going to be, I think the Democrats are going to be moving away towards that, but change doesn't happen overnight, Dave. Hang in there. And yes, when you find something that they've done as a dissatisfying, just send, okay, it didn't happen this time. You didn't stand up the way I wanted you to, but I know you can. Keep going, and sending that positive mantra out. Oh, dogs are so like that. Geek Hillbilly. But she's the light of, she sounds wonderful. They are so sensitive to things like that, dogs and cats. And yeah, yeah, be careful if you're using oils, diffusers and burners and all that around animals, that some can be, and also, look, I'm allergic to geranium oil. Grew up with geraniums in the garden all the time, but if I touch geranium oil, you know, or get a little bit of it, not the oil, it's diluted, even, you know, not the full-on essential oil, but even if you get one of those diluted ones from the shops and all that, yeah, I can't do geranium oil. Yeah. Wild hearts take an exception to the old lacking imagination. Okay, what's on next? Ron Johnson, is he going to try and delay the COVID bill? What is going on with Ron Johnson? Is he going to be successful? Is he going to be able to delay the COVID bill? He's thinking of forcing them to do it. Can he? 8 of Wands, quick communication, since he said that. 6 of Wands, restriction. Nah, he's 10 of Wands, burden. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, sorry, Queen of Wands. Truth coming out, restriction. Is he going to try and delay the COVID bill? Ooh, he's not very popular with McConnell and all that. He's certainly thinking about it. Really interesting set of cards. Truth coming out. Apathy. He's got the odd idea in his head. If he forces the clerk to read out all 600 pages, people will get tired of it and just, bugger it, we're not going to vote on it. That's ridiculous. The man crazy. And I think there's been some really, really lightning fast communication between him and McConnell. And McConnell's going, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And enough shit as it is. We can probably defeat it. We've got, you know, there's no need for it. But don't be surprised if he does push forward with it. He definitely wants to delay it. They want to delay it so then they can say, oh, you know, the Biden government couldn't get you relief and all this, and they delayed it and people died because of it and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it's definitely a delaying tactic, but he's being told by several Republicans, don't do it, man, don't do it. No, you know, we can get something taken out of this bill and get it through so that we still look like good guys, but as you do this... Yeah. That's the one that Joji, that's the one that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been trying to delay. And I'd say the delays are over. Okay. He was re-elected in 2016. Ron Johnson was re-elected in 2016. That means, and he's from Wisconsin, he is up for re-election next year. What is going to happen with Ron Johnson next year? Ron Johnson and his re-election. Hi, Crazy Cat Lady Farley. Hey, Deborah Costro. Yes, I am going to look at tomorrow, your time, 4th of March, your time. It's the 4th of March already here, but I am going to look at that in the US. In the US in general, and then specifically in DC. Okay. I'm going to have a look at Ron Johnson's chances of re-election. Will Ron Johnson be re-elected in 2022? This flew out. Change fortune for him. I haven't heard that he's retiring. He's not retiring or anything, is he? So... If he gets, he's got to put it to a vote, does he? Yeah, he's going to try it, but I don't think it'll win. Change of fortune for Ron Johnson. Out in the cold. Ooh, a corruption, stuff about corruption coming out. He's going to have to face corruption. The change of fortune for him is going to redress a balance. Interesting. He's out in the cold. He's deluded. He's getting increasingly confused and deluded. Is he one of the ones retiring? Does anyone know? Oh, tipping point for him. Whoop, break in partnership, breakdown of relationship. Self-control and refrain. No, he's not going to do that. Yeah. Thank you for that reminder. Sometimes get used to seeing temperance in a super way, in a certain way. Self-control and in restraint is one of those ways, with one of those things with the temperance card. So thank you, Sheila, for reminding me of that. Legals, need for lawyers. Ooh, he's not prepared for what's coming up. He's not prepared for what's going to be happening soon. This is 1, 2, 3 major arcana, high impact cards. He's not prepared. Oh, momentum. Rule of law and stability. He's out in the cold on these things. Got lots of past actions and past dreams coming back and biting him on the butt. Past dreams turn into nightmares. He's in for a rough ride, and I don't think he's going to be re-elected next year. Merrick Garland. Is Merrick Garland going to be confirmed this week? This is getting ridiculous, isn't it? I got no. Laura Carlson, did Governor Abbott open Texas just to spite Biden and his stimulus package? I got no. He reopened it because he was told to. Let's have a look. Did Governor Abbott open Texas because he was told to? Okay, first, did he open it to spite Biden? Okay, first question. Page of Cups. There's a little bit of the nah in that, so there's a little bit of that. Very foolish move. Very foolish move. 8 of Wands. Lots and lots of communications about opening Texas. Thank you for that reminder of self-restraint. Yeah, he couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself. This was a time to restrain on his baser instincts, and he didn't. He couldn't do it. Ace of Cups. He wanted to upset Biden. Yeah, it was to spite Biden. King of Swords. Corruption. He's also got his own. There's also a bit of corruption in there. consequences. This will have consequences. Yeah, it was also, part of it was despite Biden, but part of it because he made a deal, corruption there. He made a deal, and that is going to come out. So it was half and half. Half because he was told to, half because he wanted to flip the bird to Biden. It does. How does it stop citizens getting benefits? That's just wrong. That's wrong. That's just... Can you explain how opening the state will stop Texas citizens from getting benefits, please? Yeah, the hangman is about different perspectives, and it can also be a stop in momentum, a halt in momentum. Governor Abbott, is he going to be kicked out of office next year? I know he's up for re-election. Will a Democrat win governor next year? The Hierophant, maybe. The Sun, yes. Will a Democrat be governor after next year's elections? Maybe, yes. 7 of Pentacles report you. So 5 of Wands, conflict. The Hermit, maybe. Page of Wands. This is things coming to light about Abbott too. More things coming to light. People talking about his actions, whistleblowers. King of Pentacles, that's a yes. 5 of Swords, abuse of power. And here's another 5, abuse. Consequences. Yeah, he's going to be a Democratic governor next year in Texas. Oh, really? So he's screwing his own people. Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to force people to go back to work. God knows what's in it for him. But he's selling his state. Is Texas going to erupt? Is Texas going to erupt? And I mean against Abbott, against the Republican government there. Is Texas going to erupt against the Republican government? They hold the House, the Republicans, and the Senate there as well, don't they? Is Texas going to erupt? Queen of Wands, yes. Fiery, fiery. Page of Pentacles. Young people. 6 of Wands. Carrying messages. Just getting things. Page of Wands, here it is again. People's voices, young people's voices. Smart young people and their voices. 5 of Swords, abuse. They're seeing abuse. That's all they're seeing at the moment, is that their governor is not doing what he should. The government is not doing it. It's not the institution it would be. Their belief in that system is being undermined. 3 of Cups for support. Page of Cups, overwhelming. I don't know if there's going to be lots and lots of protests and everything, and I see lots of young people in Texas making moves. Erupting, I don't know, but they're going to have a huge impact on next year's election. But it's only going to take one thing, and all of this dissatisfaction that's building up and building up is going to erupt into heaven knows what. So keep an eye on Texas. And if you're in Texas, please take care of yourself and be careful. Tiger, hello, how are you? Hi, Cardavancy. Yeah, I started late today, but I do have to finish on the 2-hour mark. So we've still got a couple of things to get through. Will Merrick Garland be confirmed this week? Will Merrick Garland be confirmed this week so the job can get done? Thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Who are you talking about, Sheila, me or Tiger? Yeah. I cut short the other night. I couldn't figure out why I was so tired and why I was so tired. And earlier on in the afternoon, I had very sore muscles, and I took a paracetamol that has a relaxant in it. And that's what made me so tired. My throat was a little bit scratchy for talking, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Will Merrick Garland be confirmed this week? He's hoping. Tower. Emperor, that's a yes, but both high impact. Assessment. There's something's going to happen that doesn't necessarily mean he won't be, but there's something's going to happen. The rule of law is going to be imperative. Oh, the devil. Wow. He's going to be needed in there. Betrayal and heartbreak. The world is watching. The world's watching. The world's going to be watching. Oh, my goodness. Burden. Him not being there is going to prove a burden. It's going to be embattled. They're going to need him. We've got the Tower, we've got the devil, we've got a burden, we've got betrayal and heartbreak. We've got the Ten of Wands burden. There's 9 of Wands for embattlement. The rule of law, the stability of law is under threat. Time for review is over. Time for action is. The world is watching, and it's the start of one thing, one finish of one journey, start of the other, and the offer. So I think he's going to get confirmed sometime in the next week or so. But I think it's going to be because they're really going to need him. Look, I'll tell you one thing. If the Republicans could hold this confirmation up for months, they will. If they can do it for months, they will. They're not in any hurry to get him in there. No, there's no hurry to get him in there. But they're going to have to. Their hand's going to be forced. Now, let's have a look at... It could be by something that happened in the past. It could be by stuff coming out about January 6th. It could be by something that happens in the future. We'll see. Okay. 4th of March. I'll do one quick overview for the US and then one for the day itself. For Washington, D.C., okay? And then I'm going to have to wrap it up, guys. But thank you so much for your support, as always. And you being here with me, it means so much that you do join me along with my journey. So let's have one quick look nationally in the US for tomorrow, the 4th of March. Let's have a quick look there. What's in store there? Overall, disharmony, broken families, prosecutions. There's going to be some criminal actions. Loss of office, loss of money. People, there's some plans in place, but there's going to be some cancellation at the last moment for some of them. Stuff coming out, whistleblowers maybe, you know, drawing back from plans. But it is going to be a pretty emotional day because a lot of people are scared. They're scaring a lot of people. Okay. The day is not going to happen the way they think it is. They think that this is what's going to happen. They're going to end the Biden reign and Trump is going to take over for a new journey. That's not going to happen. Here is the prosecutor, the king. Here is the judge, the queen. With the whistleblower in between. Overflowing emotion. This is just nationally. There's going to be a lot of confusion and there's going to be a lot of deluded people who are just watching the clock and waiting. It's definitely going to be. Everything they invested in Trump, their investment in Trump is going, it's gone, it's lost. So nationally, it's not, there might be some skirmishes, there might be some things happening, but it's not going to be the big movement they thought it would be. It's not going to be the turn of the tide and Trump taking over that they thought it would be. Okay, Washington, D.C. Will anything happen in Washington, D.C.? Look, they're certainly prepared for it. Then they're going to stand prepared for trouble right through till the end of March and possibly into April. Hi, Estelle Harrington. Thank you very much for your prayer. That's lovely. Thank you for that. I certainly am not shy of accepting help from guardian angels. Thank you, Clarence. Yeah. Gee, that's surprising. That the Trump Hotel tripled its rates. Will there be anything going on in Washington, D.C. on the 4th? Stability of the law, stability, the rule of law. King of Wands, effort for his renewal, no support, not enough support, lack of support, overindulgence in their ideas and in their belief about themselves. Oh, something might happen, but people are going to they're not going to get away. They're not going to be able to go home this time if anything happens and then be picked up later. The devil turned on its head, plans turned on its head, ties turned on their head, healing, removal from. There might be some little action. Then they're not going to be able to. Bob, can you grab the phone? they're not going to be able to disrupt Biden. That's what they want. They want to displace Biden and replace him with Trump and renew Trump's reign with the lizard there. That's what they want. There's going to be consequences. Stuff is going to be happening, but they're going to be paying the consequences for it. They're going to try and disrupt things again. They're going to try and disrupt things again and halt things and bring things to a halt in Washington again. But no, there's whistleblowers. It's not going to work. They certainly want the world to watch, but it's going to bring an end to a journey. The energy is going to dissipate. The big stick is in weaker and weaker arms, and they're on thin ice. So look, there possibly are going to be some people trying stuff on in Washington tomorrow, but the energy is, you know, things are well and truly against them. The energy is waning. The support is growing less and less. They're on thin ice, and they're not going to be able, as they said, go home and then be picked up by the FBI later, which what happened with the Capitol, because it was just overwhelming what was happening there. They're going to be taken and arrested and processed there if they do anything. So, yeah, there could be some stuff happening in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, but it's not going to be the big coup they all want. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to leave it there. Everyone in the White House are off tomorrow. Maybe he's going to try and go in there. Maybe he's going to try. Is he going to try and get into the White House tomorrow? Will Trump? I'm going to answer that question very quickly. Will Trump try to enter the White House tomorrow? Hi, Jane Finley English. How are you? You just caught me at the end. Will Trump try and enter the White House tomorrow? I wouldn't put it. He's thinking about it. He needs to restrain. Yeah, he needs to temper down things. That's what I call it, tempering. He needs tempering, restraining. Of course, they're always, he's thinking about it, and it wouldn't be beyond possibility if he tried, but I don't think that's going to happen. And if he does, he's a private citizen now. He has no right to enter that White House unless asked. He can't just walk in and say, I'm President Trump, I have the right to be here. He doesn't anymore. So, yeah. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe, stay loving, stay strong. Look after yourselves and send prayers out to everyone who's struggling with illness. And, yeah. Can't wait and see what's going to happen again. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye. He could try that sedition. Then he'd be in real trouble because he's a private citizen now.